Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, my dear students. This is Madiha Ashraf. Welcome to all of you in General Science class 8th. I hope you all are fine and enjoying the good health with the blessing of Allah. Students, our today's topic, fertilizers, chapter number 5. Today we will see the introduction of fertilizers, types of fertilizers, importance of fertilizers, and the mineral deficiency in plants. What are the objectives of our today's lesson? The objectives are, at the end of this lesson, you will be able to define or describe the fertilizers, and you will be able to determine the role of nutrients for plants' growth, and you will be able to relate the appearance of a plant which have deficiency of elements like NPK. Students, recall, in our previous lecture we have discussed the importance of plants for the humans. Agriculture is most of the common and important profession in all over the world. We all human depends on plant for our food. We have the different items to eat. These all depends on agriculture. So, what are the importance of plants for the humans? They provide the food to us to increase the yield or to grow them fast. They also need some nutrients. These nutrients are provided by natural source or by some artificial way. These are called fertilizers. What are fertilizers? These are the chemical or natural substances supplied to the soil to increase its fertility and increase the production of crops. Means fertilizers are added to the soil to increase its fertility and of course increase the production of the crops. So the main objectives of a farmer are to increase the yield or to increase the crop's yield. What essential nutrients are there which are required by the plants? These include nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. Also some other nutrients are also there which are named as the micronutrients, but these are very important nutrients. What is the role or importance of these nutrients or mineral element for the plant? Where they are used by the plant, like nitrogen and for nitrogen. This is the element. It gives the color and help the better growth of the plant. Phosphorus, P is its symbol. It helps for the growth of the fruit and flowers. Potassium, it helps for the growth of roots or makes the roots strong. So nutrients helps the production and better growth of the plant. There are different types of the fertilizers. These are majorly divided into the two. These are natural or organic fertilizer, and the second one is named as synthetic fertilizer. Organic fertilizers feed the soil while synthetic fertilizers feed the plant. What is the difference between both? These come from the natural sources while synthetic fertilizers are prepared in the laboratories. What are the examples of organic or natural fertilizers? These include sewage, excreted water, wastewater, sludge, solid waste, animal manure, compost, and guano. These all are the natural sources that comes from the waste of animals or plants. When they are added up to the soil, they transfer the nutrients to the soil, attacked by the microorganisms and further decomposed. So these nutrients are absorbed by the plants and it increases the growth of the plant. Synthetic fertilizers provide the specific element or the mineral to the plant or the nutrient to the plant, which are absorbed or taken up by the plants, and it increase the growth of the plant or help to the better growth of the plant. What are the synthetic fertilizer? There are many examples of the synthetic fertilizer, but NPK fertilizer is the most important one. Those fertilizers that contain nitrogen, phosphorus, and K for potassium, but these are named as the NPK fertilizers. Like urea, you have seen. So NPK, N for nitrogen, P for phosphorus, and K for potassium. The fertilizers that contain these elements are named as the NPK fertilizers, and these are prepared in the laboratory. That's why they are named as the synthetic fertilizers. Now we will see how the organic and synthetic fertilizers help the plant's growth and where they come from and what is the importance of these elements for the plant. Plants required 18 different elements for its better growth. Out of 18, 3 comes from the sunlight, water, and air. But where the others come from? Think about it and do answer. The plants get the other minerals from where? They come from the soil. Every type of the soil provides the important nutrients or the minerals to the plant that help their better growth. But due to the repeated cultivation of the same crop, the nutrients in a soil may become lesser or reduced. So, a farmer should maintain the level of nutrient and minerals by some other ways. These are by adding manures or fertilizers. Manures come from the organic waste, while fertilizers are prepared in the labs. What are the manures? Manures are the solid waste that increase the soil fertility, and they come from the organic waste and crop residue. There are many types. Fertilizers. What are the fertilizers? These are the chemicals that may come from natural or synthetic source that increase the soil fertility by maintaining the nutrient levels for the plants. So it can maintain the nutrient level. These are of different type. These are all inorganic, but some of them are organic, like urea. The most important fertilizers are NPK fertilizers. Some other types are there. These are named as straight fertilizers, complex, and the mixed fertilizer. Straight fertilizers that provides the one mineral or nutrient to the soil. Nitrogen, phosphorus, or potassium, these are the primary nutrients. And the primary nutrients are mixed, they form the complex fertilizer. And if they all are mixed together, then it may form the mixed fertilizers. They can provide more than one nutrient to the soil. Now we will mark out the differences between manure and fertilizers. What are the differences? Both of them are very important for the increase of the soil's fertility or increase the better growth of the plants. But what is the difference? Manures come from the natural origin. They come from the waste of crops or plants, while the fertilizers, they are prepared in the labs. Manures are economical while they are costly. They contain all the essential nutrient, while fertilizers only specific nutrients they can provide. Both of them provides the nutrients, but manures contain relatively lesser amount of the nutrients, while fertilizer contain richer amount of the nutrients. Organic manures are not harmful, while fertilizers are harmful as they are synthetically prepared or prepared in the labs. But both are very important for the growth of the plant or they increase the soil fertility. So what is the soil fertility? A soil is called fertile if it accepts, store and transfer the energy to the plant. So we have discussed in detail the importance of organic and artificial fertilizers for the plants. Now notice these pictures very carefully and mark out the difference between them. You can see them in your garden or you can collect the different leaves surrounding you and mark out the difference between them. Like here, the color difference is there. You can mark out the color difference between them. So it means something is there which is responsible for keeping their color is varying in all these cases. So maybe this is due to the presence of mineral or maybe this is due to the deficiency of the minerals. Similarly, in this case, a normal leaf is shown, while in other cases, if you see the borders, these are becoming yellowish and some deaden. So something is deficient here. So we will mark out the minerals which are important or which are responsible for the growth, for the color and their deficiency symptoms. See in this table, this is a very important table. You have to focus on this. First of all, what are the mineral elements which are required? We already know nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium. Nitrogen N, P, phosphorus and potassium K, and the fourth one is also here, magnesium. Where the plant use these, nitrogen is mainly used for making new plants, tissues, protein or making the leaves. Phosphorus help in making the roots. Potassium help in making flowers and fruits. And magnesium is very important, that is making the chlorophyll, and chlorophyll is used for photosynthesis for food making process. While if the plant is deficient or do not have enough nitrogen or enough nutrient, then some deficiency sign or symptoms appear, like the deficiency of the nitrogen, slower the growth and the yellow leaves are appeared. It shows that its growth is affected due to the deficiency of nitrogen. Similarly, phosphorus, that is helpful in making the roots. If phosphorus is deficient, then there will be poor root growth and the leaves become purple. Potassium is required for making flower and fruits. If it is not enough in the plant, then the yellow leaves with dead spots appear on a plant. Magnesium is responsible for photosynthesis, giving the pigment or green color to the leaves due to the presence of or due to the helpful in making chlorophyll process, due to the making the chlorophyll in that. So leaves turn yellow from the bottom of the plant. It shows that it is deficient in magnesium. Now we will see one by one the appearance of a plant which is deficient of some minerals. Like mineral deficiency, first case is no phosphorus. Phosphorus, where it is helpful in making the roots and important for all other minerals used by the plants. So what is the effect of phosphorus deficiency? Observe this picture very carefully and What are the observation? First observation is due to the deficiency of phosphorus, the roots are not growing properly, so small roots are shown here. And secondly, what is the color of phosphorus? Leaves are here. Due to the deficiency of phosphorus, the leaves become purple or discolored leaves are shown here. The mineral deficiency, second case, magnesium deficiency. Magnesium is used for making chlorophyll and it is vital for the process of photosynthesis. What is the effect of magnesium deficiency? Notice this plant very carefully. The lower leaves become yellow or pale green, while the upper leaves are normal and leaves start turning yellow from the bottom to upward. It shows that magnesium is deficient or the plant is not using up the proper magnesium or it do not have the enough magnesium in it. The appearance of a plant which is deficient by potassium. There is no potassium or do not have enough potassium. And where potassium is required? Potassium is required or used for making the flowers and fruits. So crops are given extra potassium before they start to fruits. So what is important for fruits and flowers? Potassium is important for them. If it is deficient, or what is the effect of the deficiency of potassium? In this picture, what is shown? The leaves are yellow and they having some black spots or dead spots. These are named as dead spots. So the first observation is their leaves are discolored with having the dead spots. While they also poor flowers and fruit growth. Also affect the growth of the flowers and fruit. The next is very important one, that is the nitrogen. Nitrogen is used for making leaves and it is probably the most important minerals. Why? Because it helps the plant growth. So its deficiency effects are shown here. If you notice the picture or a plant carefully, you see first one, the weak stem. Nitrogen deficiency, the stem become weak. Number 2, the lower leaves become yellow and the dead. And the upper leaves also start turning pale green. So nitrogen is very important for making the leaves and plants growth. So if nitrogen is deficient, what the observation are, the plant have weak stem, lower leaves become yellow and even dead, and the upper leaves also start turning to pale green. Now, after doing this, you have to perform this activity. What this activity is, some mineral deficiencies are shown in a plant. Okay, different plants are shown to you. What you have to do, you have to identify that which plant is deficient in nitrogen, which plant is deficient in potassium, which one is deficient in phosphorus, and which one is deficient in magnesium, and relate them with their appearance or their observation. First of all, you have to do what you have to do. You have to notice or you have to observe them well. Like A, B, C, D, E are marked. You have to make the observation on your practice copy that it look like this, poor leaves, yellow leaves, whatever you notice. And then you have to match the nutrient condition that was required or that is missing in this plant. And there is a plant that may have the enough nutrient. You have to identify that plant that do not or that have the enough nutrient. And there is an assignment for you, that is the test yourself, page number 63. There are some instructions. Note down the important point of lecture on practice copy first of all. Then you have to learn them well and solve these questions on each notebook. Keep it neat and tidy. The questions are, what are fertilizers? We have discussed in detail what are fertilizers, what are their importance, and some examples. Explain the difference between natural and artificial fertilizer. You have to explain. So this is not only one point or one sentence answer. You have to explain the difference between natural and fertilizer basis on their origin, and then some examples. Three fertilizers, you can give any of the three example. Natural fertilizers come from sewage, sludge, manure, compost, or guano. Why a plant need nitrogen, potassium, phosphorus, and magnesium? The importance of these mineral elements are given in the table. You have to write down the importance of these for the plant. Question number 6. Describe the appearance of a plant that has not had enough nitrogen, potassium, phosphorus, and magnesium. Deficiency, signs or symptoms due to the deficiency of these mineral elements for a plant. And make one thing clear, there is a one question you have to share or submit. This is the activity. You have to share the answer of activity that is given in the lecture, and you have to note down your observation relevant to each plant and then your answers. What is the answer? You have identified the A is the deficiency of this, B is the deficiency. So you have to submit the answers of your activity. This is our end of the today's lesson. Thank you. Have a nice day. Allah Hafiz.